For the future of structural integration, I would like to see all the schools start communicating better and finding the common ground on which we can cooperate and structural integration take its proper place in the world.
I hope the method stays defined and together. I want it to be clear, this set of concepts that Dr. Rolfe passed to us. She gave us a holistic principle of the body integrated in its relationship to gravity. She gave us the idea that we could hold something where we wanted it to be and have the client use their own movement to change the tissue. Since the split 27 years ago, we've been a wounded body. The knife that keeps the wound open is the issue of service mark. I think the service mark is an albatross. It really has weakened our ability to go forward together, and I think it divides us all.
For this profession, it would just be so great if we were in hospitals, in rehab units, in homes for autistic kids, or working with autistic kids, working with developmentally disabled, working with the elderly. There are so many places where this work could be really, really usefully employed. I certainly hope that there's a future for Ida Rolfe's work. I know that things get invented and reinvented from generation to generation, but I don't think there is much of a future for structural integration as we're going now. Unless we can unite as a profession to move forward, I really don't think there will be.
Joseph Heller, my original teacher, told us that you would have been mortified if you were to come back to life and to see that your work had not evolved. Well, I'm happy to say that there have been many amazing innovations based on your work. Structural integration has become broader while sustaining its foundations in the teachings that you have given to your students and their students.
Know that your work now inspires manual therapists who practice in the international arenas of sport and performance, allowing them to enhance the careers of elite, amateur, professional, and Olympic athletes.
I know that organizations with large numbers of people with like and unlike minds are very challenging. I would hope that there is enough common ground and agreed upon purpose for all to thrive.
I think that's our goal now, is to continue to educate people, primarily to educate people about what it is to find a center, what Dr. Rolfe used to refer to as the line, and to come from beingness out into doingness. And I think with all the myriad of schools that exist today on structural integration, I think there's a general attempt to fulfill her promise, fulfill her wish that we work towards such a goal, to make us better human beings, not so much human doings. And as I look out on this island of Kauai and hear all these birds tweeting and the chimes blowing through the wind, I'm extremely grateful for having studied with her, and I know many of you that are listening at this memorial feel the same way about whether or not you've studied with her. You at least have a sense of the dedication of this work. And so I send you all, and on behalf of Amit Hutchins also, I send you each and all our love and respect. And on behalf of Dr. Ida Rolfe, I just bow my head in complete reverence and appreciation. Thank you all. Bye-bye.
My vision for the future of structural integration is that we continue to honor her legacy in the best way that we can, inching our way into the mainstream. The gift of human integration continues to evolve through our studies of biomechanics, through fascia research, and the neuroscience of plasticity. That's why it's taking us so long, Ida. In the process of trying to figure out how it works, we are making it easier to teach and to talk about. We are your champions, Ida Pauline, and we love you.
As someone who practices structural integration for the University of Pittsburgh's Medical Center, we can interface with professionals from all walks of health and medicine. But we need to be bold. We have to knock on the doors that we want to have open. And once they open, we have to be diplomatic. And we have to be persistent in our education. The field of fascia research is exploding right now, and many of the ideas coming from fascial science are explaining what Ida seemed to know all those years ago. But as Ida said, we need to have our physics under our metaphysics.
I believe that this work needs to be a mainstay of medical intervention. When we get to a point where every hospital, every therapy clinic, when all of the doctors are referring to structural integration as one of the staples of being able to help people find relief from the difficult experiences that they're having physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, this is going to be where I believe structural integration has the ability to make the biggest impacts.
What I would like for the future of structural integration to keep the work pure. This work, in essence, is about wholeness and integrating the whole body in gravity. I want for all structural integration practitioners and schools to integrate together into a whole structural integration body, recognized by us for strength and unity, standing strong as a separate modality in the face of the forces that would divide us.
A house divided against itself cannot stand. And there is no way that we're going to advance the profession of structural integration with this divided house that I have seen. Now, I'm not really speaking on behalf of Yazzie here. I'm speaking about my experiences in dealing with this community. I've been very thankful to meet practitioners who are wanting to lay everything down and just advance forward with this profession. And then there is also the history that has divided the house. It's just time that we heal and move forward. And if we don't do that, we will lose the profession of structural integration.
My beautiful vision for the profession is that all the schools, administrators, faculty, practitioners, students continue to communicate, sharing openly and honestly and with great tolerance and respect, discover ways to preserve Dr. Rolfe's work in all its diversity. To this growing community, thank you for all your good work. What do I wish for the future of our profession? I would love it if Dr. Rolfe's vision would be vindicated. And perhaps this is possible through the advances of research in connective tissue and neuroplasticity. But even if this is not the case, my heart is so full with the idea of all the invisible ways that we have continued to touch people and make a difference in their lives. And I do believe our collective effort will continue to make a priceless contribution.